it, or if you want me to start, I can start.
We can start. Thank
Okay.
you.
Are you able to see my screen with the receiving client up?
Yes.
So that should look pretty normal to you. So
Mhm.
what I'm going to be going over in receiving is the planning portion of it, where you can plan all of your receipt trucks that will be arriving, and then sort of link those into specific receipts that are coming in, so that you can track all that on a big and-on board or with reports or however you choose to. Um, so within the standard receiving client, which you may be very familiar with, there's an option in the lower left-hand corner called Planner. I'm just going to click on that, and it's going to bring up a place where we can schedule all of the trucks that will be arriving. Um, so I just have 3 scheduled in here for today right now, 10 AM, 11 AM, and 2 PM. Um, to schedule more trucks for a specific day, there are a couple ways that you can do that. The first way would be to just go ahead and say, I want to add a new event, and it's going to walk you through the process of saying, okay, I want to add a truck that's going to be coming in at 4 o'clock. It's going to be coming in for whichever customer you want to choose. If you want to specify the carrier that is going to be coming in on, you can do that also. If you want to allocate, a crew size, how many people you think will be doing it. A lot of the crew size, time allocation, it's stuff like that is for just reports after the fact. So you could see, okay, well, I had one person set to unload this truck, but it took more than my allocated time. So next time I might need to have 2 people set to do it. And any notes that you want to apply to that particular truck coming in, and you can also specify a delivery type, whether it's a delivery just coming in, delivery and a pickup, both, or if it's an in or an out, whatever it is. So I'm just go ahead. I'm just going to save this particular item, and we can see it drops it right on to our schedule screen. Now, where this becomes important is there is an and-on program that can be running out on your plant floor. And I'm just going to bring up the standard screen for it right now, which just shows you all of your scheduled items that are coming up in the future, what their scheduled times are for, and sort of the status of it. And then it'll flag them. If it's past due, we start seeing things in red. If it's not or coming up yet, it's still green. Ultimately, we want everything to be green on this board. Um, and so at this point, it is just a scheduled item. It is not connected at all with an ASN or with anything within receiving. It's just a truck out there that is scheduled. If I actually want to link it to something within receiving, let's see. So we have a 10 AM advanced metal here. So I'm going to go ahead and say I want to add a new bill of lading, and I'm just going to give it a test 1, 2, 3, the bill of lading, and then we sense that was advanced metal. So since I've selected advanced metal stamping, now I can go down and get a list of here are the different uh, trucks that will be coming in uh, for different shipments that I have allocated on my planner out there. So we can see there was my 10 AM for that for through logistics one. So I'm just going to link it to that right now and say okay. So it'll add my new bill of lading, and we can see it is in an assigned state of, yep, it's on its way, but it is not here yet. And so we see that our status has changed on our and-on screen out there that it's not actually in a driver arrived state yet. I have it changed that automatically because we are not currently using a driver check-in piece. There's a piece of software that you could have where when a driver arrives, they could enter in their user, their name and their truck, and then select what actual shipment they are bringing in, and then it'll track when that the driver has not arrived, the driver's arrived, what time did they arrive. We can track all that sort of information. But since I have that piece turned off currently, it just puts the status automatically to driver arrived. Um, if I want to select that particular shipment, I could just say that the trailer has arrived and it is now docked. So I can click on, it's docked and it says, a driver hasn't checked in. Do you want to mark it as docked? And I'm just going to say yes. So that's it changes it to a driver arrived state. And so now we can see that it is at the dock and it is being scanned. And then as a user out on the floor is scanning it, we actually capture what is the time of the first scan of something as a receipt is being added in. So I'll just receive a something on here. It's going to pop up a screen that's going to ask me about some weights stuff. I have another thing I'm actually testing for another customer on here right now about reading, interfacing to a scale. Okay. So it's going to go ahead and enter in that particular receipt. Um, you'll see there is a load complete button that also shows up on here because I have my weight stuff turned on. There is a load complete. So the fact that I've started scanning something to this particular bay now puts it as, my load time has started. And so it's going to keep track of how long does it take me to unload that particular trailer. So here my first thing has been scanned. Once the last item has been scanned and received, the user would just have to click on the load complete button down here. And it's going to say, are you sure everything for this BOL has been scanned? And we say, yes, indeed. And so then we now know that it is complete. It has been unloaded, and so it is ready for it to be filed up to Transfer M. So it's nice that it just sort of has this and-on screen that people on the floor can see what is going on, what's the status of anything going on within receiving. Now, behind this particular report, there's actually a couple different and-on screens that you could use. This is just the basic one. It's what I call standard. It is just going to show you everything that is on there. The ones that are problems, the future ones that are coming up. And so, like for instance, if I wanted to schedule some new things coming up, I could go back to my planner and say I wanted to schedule tomorrow's trucks. So for tomorrow, but maybe tomorrow's trucks, um, I don't wanna have to type them all in individually. What I really want to do is establish I have a schedule. Every Friday is pretty much the same. So I just wanna load in what my standard Friday schedule would be. So we have some buttons over here that say load my daily schedule. I'm gonna click on a button and it's gonna say this date's in the future. Are you sure you want to schedule it? And say yes, yes I am. Now I could, could have a Monday schedule, a Tuesday schedule, Wednesday schedule, a Thursday. Should have a Friday. I don't, but I'm just going to select my Thursday and pretend that that is our Friday schedule and click on save. And so whatever I have set as that particular Friday schedule, it's going to load all those in automatically. And I can see what all those individual schedules are by saying edit master schedule, so we can look at what is our Thursday schedule. So here is the things that we would normally expect on a Thursday or expect on any day. I could add more events to that master schedule to build it up so that it makes it much easier for me to load in each day, because then I can just load in the master schedule for that day. And then if there's a truck that is not going to be there, I could remove it, or if there's some extra trucks that are going to be coming, I could go ahead and I could add those extra trucks in individually using the add new event button. But as all those are added in, we will see that they'll all start showing up on our and on display here. Oh, because I have it set to only go so many hours in advance, it's not showing me my tomorrow ones. It's only showing me my today ones. But that's configurable. I could change that uh, to see um, however far in the future I want to go. So let me add just another event for save it with all the generic stuff there. So we'll just add another one in there. And so you can see on the and on screen, it automatically drops in anything that's added real time for our schedule. Now, one thing we have done with some other Magnet customers is they use a third party logistics company that schedules all their trucks for them. I don't know if you guys do that, or if you schedule all or it maintains all the schedules together. But since they have another company that is doing all that for them, we are able to reach in to a portal that that other company, I think it was Grupo Logistics or Logistico, I don't remember the exact name. But we can reach in, we grab their daily schedule of what is expected, and we can just use that to populate the receiving schedule automatically here. Since the logistics company is the one that is managing that, and we're just reaching in and using it. Um, so it's a nice feature to have. So if you do have a third party logistics company, that is an option that would be available for us to look at interfacing with them. Um, So that is the scheduling piece. I mentioned there's a couple other schedules behind here. So if I just click on the receiving schedule here, we can see this was my standard report. Maybe I just want to see the discrepancies or see all the shipments that are a problem. And so I can display that particular report. And so now it's going to tell me, okay, here are my problems. This one is late because the truck is late. It was scheduled for this particular time, but its arrival time is not set. The wrong crew size. So I don't have a crew size checked in for that particular receipt yet. And that is all managed within receiving here also. So I exit out of here. So for here. So I have the crew size currently set at 0, where my schedule, I had it set that I wanted 1 person. So my scheduled crew size was 1. So I'm going to say, yeah, let's just go ahead and put 1 person on that crew. So that will take care of that particular issue. And the other issue that is showing up is no ASN. Remember, I typed that in as a manual bill of lading receipt. And so it's telling us, hey, there's no ASN that is coming down from TransferM that we're matched to. So any errors that show up would show up on our discrepancy report or our problem report, just so you have a lot more visibility of all of those things. And then the only other one would be on here is the individual bay. So like with shipping, we do allow you to sort of say, I have these 5 receiving bays that are here, or 6. I have 5 of them set up right now, and so you could actually hang a screen above each individual receiving bay, so that you could see what is scheduled to be coming into that bay, what time is it scheduled to do that, and all of that's managed back within our planner application. So I would say for this particular one, when it arrives, I'm going to want to send that one to go over to bay 1. And when this one arrives, I'll send that one over to bay 3. I don't know how advanced you want to get in planning where someone is going to go. The nice piece of that is when you use the driver check-in piece. As a driver checks in for their particular load, it will tell them automatically, okay, please go drive and back into bay 1 or back into bay 3, or it can tell them where to plan to go because you have that mapped out for them already. I'm going to pause there and see if there's any questions that you have for me.
Not for the moment.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. One question.
Yeah.
In the You say the hour when you finish the scan, but it's possible for obtain the minutes or the time to start, the time to finish?
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah. So as the scan is done and they click the load complete button,
Mhm.
then we are able to actually go in and see what time was a load started and what time was the load completed. And I think I closed off and on report. And so you could either see that on the and on screen,
Yes.
or you could have a report that says, for this particular bill of lading, it was, started at this time, it finished at this time, and here is the total amount of time that it took for that to be completed.
Okay. Got it.
So that value is not on our bill of lading report currently, but that is something that we could add in on there because it is data that we're already capturing.
Okay.
Um, so that is basically the receiving scheduling piece. We didn't want to make it too complex or,
Mhm.
or cumbersome for you because um, the more complex it gets, the less likely it is to be used. So really, when planning something, the things that are important are establishing the date something's going to arrive, the time you're planning to arrive, and the
Yeah.
vendor. Everything below that is all sort of optional stuff that if you want to track it, you could. Um, and then even at the bottom here, so as I'm saying I'm gonna create a new one for, today at, we'll say, 5 o'clock. But I say, well, this is one that we're getting every day on a Tuesday. So I also, as I add it here, every I have a Thursday, so I'm Thursday schedule. So every day on this Thursday for this one, I want to take this event, add it to today, but also add it to my master so that it will always show up for me on my Thursday. So if I look at my Thursday screen, we can see, okay, now here is that new truck that we're always expecting on a Thursday for my master schedule.
Okay. Yes.
We do also allow you to do schedules by docks. So if you have different receiving docks, I don't know because I know you have the U.S. plant and then you
Mhm.
have the Mexico plant. So you might treat those two receiving docks differently, and you can maintain separate schedules for each one so that they're not looking at each other's data.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Um, yeah, so that's pretty much it within the scheduling piece. Um, there were some options we put on here. Obviously, you can edit event and a delete an event. Mark close was something we added on for a Magna customer because they were getting their schedule all coming down from a third party logistics company.
Mhm.
But sometimes they wouldn't get their schedule until 9 in the morning, and so when they bring it in, there would be a bunch of trucks that they've already received from, 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock. And so they wanted to be able to go in and they didn't want to delete that truck. They just wanted to say, hey, that truck's complete. So we can take it and mark it closed. And it's going to just say, yes, this event is closed. So it still tracks that the event happened. We don't have any data on it on when the truck arrived, when it started scan, when it stopped scan. But we do have the fact that yes, it happened and it is now a closed event. So once hit it as a closed event, the reason why it's going to close, is it the complete? Is it a cancel? Is it a no show? So I'm just going to say for this particular one, it was a no show. And then that automatically drops off my screen of the and on screen. Let me go back to my standard and on screens are out there. So that one I know it was the top row there. We don't see it anymore, but it just helps you to maintain and keep all the data on this current. So, um, yeah, so that's pretty much it. Uh, if I if I built up a schedule, so like say today is a Wednesday, and I
Mhm.
built up all of today's as just individual new events, but then I said, oh, I really like how that is. I want to assign everything from this particular day as a master schedule. There is assign current as master, and it's going to say, okay, what do you want? Which one do you want to assign it to? Or I could just go ahead and add a new master. So I could say see what my naming scheme was on there. So one day. So I could then save this whole schedule as a master now called Friday, so that when I go in to edit all my masters, uh, okay, so here is everything that I have for that is in my Friday group now, so that I could go ahead and assign that on all the Fridays that occur. And that is receiving scheduling. Um, any other questions you can think of
Now for the
before I?
moment,
Okay.
let me review with my team how to schedule in this moment the receiving,
Okay.
and maybe comment about this tool is to know is good for us or not.
Yep. Do they have their schedule on a big whiteboard in the receiving office, or are they maintaining that on paper, or how are they doing their scheduling right now?
I don't know.
You don't
It's
know.
the
Okay.
part that I need to review. What is the
Sure.
process at this moment?
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So, well, we recorded this part of the uh, the meeting here, and so what I'm going to have Tina do is, if we don't have any other questions we want to cancel or anything, I'll have her stop that so that you can then take that meeting, the 23 minutes that we have here, and send that over to whoever you want to watch that or review it with the receiving department. And then if there's any questions that come up from that, then let me know, and I can be happy to help
Yes,
answer those.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Aaron.
sure. So Tina, why don't you stop that meeting